When you first start to invest, especially as a young investor, it can be quite harsh to find where to invest your money. Should you invest in crypto or maybe individual stocks would be the best option? Well, as a matter of fact, one of the best ways to invest your money in the long run would be to invest in great exchange trade funds, aka ETFs. It is why in this video, you'll find 5 of the best ETFs available for beginners in Canada, starting out with one of the most popular Canadian ETFs in the whole country, which is tracking the global American market, which is the Vanguard S&P 500 Index ETF with the ticker VFV. By tracking the 500 largest American companies by valuation, it means that when you decide to invest in this fund, you are directly investing into some of the most popular American companies such as Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple, and Amazon, which are all amongst the top holdings of this ETF. This means that with no surprise, the technology sector comes out as the largest sectors of this fund with over 30% of the total assets. And then we have the financials, the consumer discretionary, and the communication services that follow. Historically, we know that the S&P 500 tends to return about 10% of return per year, but when we look at this ETF and the market as a whole over the past 3 years, we can see that it has been able to return over 20% of return per year, more than doubling its historical average. However, over the past 10 years, we can see that this annualized return was of about 15%, which would have meant that if you decided to invest $10,000 10 years ago in this fund, this amount would now be worth over $44,000. One of the other reasons why this fund is extremely attractive for the investors is the fact that they have some super low fees of only about 0.09% per year, which is equal to about $9 per $10,000 invest. Add to this, Morningstar on its side considered that this fund has way more potential of return compared to the average funds of its category while maintaining the same level of risk. On its part, VFV also has a great quarterly distribution yield of about 0.97% that is distributed on a quarterly basis. So it would mean that on your side, if you would have invested $10,000 in that fund, you would receive approximately per year about $97 completely passively from this ETF. Now for the second ETF on my list, since you are most likely a Canadian, it could be pretty interesting for you to invest directly into our great Canadian market. And to do so, one of the best options that could be offered to you would be to invest into the iShares S&P TSX 60 Index ETF with the ticker XEQT. On its part, this BlackRock ETF seeks to track the performance of 60 of the largest Canadian companies by valuation, such as the Big 5 banks, Enbridge, Brookfield, and Shopify. It makes that with no surprise, as for the Canadian economy, the 2 largest sectors of these funds are the financial sector as well as the energy sector. And in third and fourth place, we find the materials and the technology sectors. Surprisingly, even if we know that the Canadian market tends to underperform the American market in the long run, we can see that over the past year, it has been able to outperform it by about 6% with some annual average return of about 24%. Over the past 10 years, this average annualized return would have been of about 10% per year, so it would mean that your $10,000 initial investment would now be worth over $28,000. On its part, XIU also has some slightly higher fees compared to VFV, with some annual fees of about 0.18%, which would represent about $18 per $10,000 invest. On its side, Morningstar has ranked that fund as having the same level of risk while being able to slightly outperform the same types of funds of its category. And another interesting thing about this fund is the fact that it is giving some massive dividend distribution on a quarterly basis with a quarterly distribution yield of about 2.53% per year, which would equivalent to about $253 per $10,000 invest. So this ETF could be another great option for the investors that are looking for more passive income every single quarter from the great dividend companies that are held within that fund. Then it can also be interesting for you to have some exposure to other interesting markets worldwide with a great ETF tracking the international markets. To do so, one of the best options for you would be to invest into the Vanguard FTSE developed all cap except North America Index ETF with the ticker VIU. This fund can be pretty interesting for you if you have strong convictions to see some great growth into other interesting markets worldwide such as Europe and Asia, because this ETF is tracking all the developed markets worldwide except Canada and except the United States. So it makes sense that Europe and the Pacific are the two most represented regions worldwide, with countries such as Japan, the United Kingdom, France and Germany being some of the most popular countries. Among the biggest holdings of this ETF, we also find great companies such as ASML, SAP, Samsung and AstraZeneca, which are all worth only about less than 1.5% of the total assets each. So it is clear that with over 3,600 holdings within this fund, it is clear that they are most diversified per company compared to the two other previous picks on this list. Sector-wise, we can find that the financials and the industrial sectors are by far the two largest sectors of this fund. And then we also find the consumer discretionary and the healthcare sectors. On your part, if you are interested to invest in this ETF, you must know that you can expect to pay some fees of about 0.23% per year, or about $23 per $10,000 invest. Plus, since the end of 2015, if you would have invested $10,000 in that fund, you could expect to have about $21,000 with an average annualized return of about 7.5% per year. On its side, Morningstar currently ranks this fund as being in the average for both the potential of return and the total level of risk that it has had. But just like for XEQT, this fund is pretty interesting for the quarterly dividend distributions that they are giving of about 2.32% per year, which represents about $232 per $10,000 invest. Then for the fourth ETF on my list, it can be interesting for you if you strongly believe into the technology sector in the US. And so in that case, you could decide to invest into the iShares NASDAQ 100 index ETF with the ticker XEQT. On its part, this fund seeks to track the performance of the famous NASDAQ 100 index, which is basically an index composed of the 100 largest non-financial companies in the US. So among some of the biggest holdings of this fund, you can find well-known companies such as Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple, and Broadcom. With no surprise, you can also find that over 50% of the total assets of this ETF are directly invested into the technology sector. And then we can find the communication and the consumer discretionary sectors. By investing even more into the big technology companies in the US, this fund has the characteristics to be more volatile, meaning that it will tend to fluctuate more compared to even a fund such as VFV, but it has been able to outperform it over the past 10 years with an average annualized return of about 17%. This means that if you would have decided to invest $10,000 in that fund 10 years ago, it would now be worth over $53,000. However, it is also important to understand that you'd be also paying some slightly higher fees compared to VFV of about 0.39% per year, or about $39 per $10,000 invest. Plus, just like for VFV, this fund also has a super low quarterly dividend distribution yield of about 0.25% per year, or about $25 distributed per $10,000. Add to this, Morningstar is currently ranking this fund as having way more potential of return with way more potential of risk compared to the average funds of its category. So it can definitely be an interesting ETF for you if you're not scared of high volatility. Finally, my fifth and last ETF on this list for every beginner that is looking to start investing would be an all-in-one. So basically, one ETF that could track the entire stock market, which would be the iShares Core Equity ETF portfolio with the ticker XEQT. If you don't want to have the trouble to pick this or this ETF in your portfolio, this ETF could actually be your best option. By tracking over 8,000 companies worldwide from their 5 underlying ETFs, this could be a great representation of the global economy. In terms of the asset allocation, we can see that by far the American market is the most represented market worldwide with about 45% of the total assets allocation. Then we can find that the Canadian market as well as the developed markets comes as the second and the third position, each with about 25% of the total assets. And finally, the 5% remaining can be found into the emerging markets. It means that geographically, we can find that the countries that are the most present into the ETF are the USA, Canada, Japan, and the United Kingdom. And within the largest underlying underlying assets that are held within the different ETFs of this fund, we can find a great mix of between US and Canadian companies as being in the top of the largest holdings of this fund, notably companies such as Nvidia, Microsoft, RBC, and Shopify. On your side, if you want to invest in that ETF, you can expect to pay some fees of about 0.20% per year or $20 per $10,000 invest. And since the inception of this fund in 2019, it has been able to average some annualized return of about 13% per year, meaning that if you would have invested $10,000 in it, you would now be sitting on about $22,000. On its side, Morningstar is currently ranking this fund as having the same level of risk compared to the same funds of its category, while having the potential to outperform them in the long run. And with a quarterly dividend distribution yield of about 1.89% per year, you could expect to earn about $189 per $10,000 invest in that fund. So there you have it. Those were 5 of the absolute best Canadian ETFs that are available right now for every beginners. But now that you know in what you should invest your money when you first start to invest, you might be wondering where should you invest it. And to discover the answer to this question, make sure to check out the video that's gonna be right over here, and I will see you soon. Peace.